Hi guys, welcome to our how to fusion friendly sit-up session. We are going to need a ball for today because this is the safest way for us to do sit-ups. If you've got scoliosis that's not been fused, this is also a really great safe way to get your abs working, so you can join in as well. My ball I think is 20 centimetres diameter. You can also use a 25 centimetre, that's quite a good width as well. If you go smaller, it's going to get harder, so see how you feel. We're going to come and sit on your bottoms, and the ball is going to come around behind you and kind of tuck behind your tailbone, so it should be really securely in there. Sometimes if you have shiny leggings, it will roll away. So just to talk through technique, your positioning with your legs is really important. We want them to be hip width apart, and we want to feel like we're evenly distributed between both sides of our bottom. So make sure you're nice and even there. Your legs are going to stay completely still, and arms are going to come out in front of you. So we're loading the weight forward, it's going to make it a bit easier. To make sure we're protecting our spines, we're going to use a pelvic tilt. So I want you to imagine you're going to spill some water out the back of your trouser waistband. So we're almost trying to bring the spine into a C shape. Now, if you've got a fusion, that's going to be a bit trickier. You can see my pelvic tilt is easier to show you actually. My pelvic tilt is very minuscule, very small, but essentially we're trying to push your lower back into the ball. Okay, you should feel your abs start to switch on. From here, we can then slowly recline backwards to about 45 degrees. We're going to hold here. You should feel the abs just underneath your rib cage working. We're going to pull from your hands and from those upper abs all the way forwards, and you've done your first sit-up. So let's start that all again because it wasn't great. Good stuff. Okay. Hi guys, welcome to our Scoli friendly sit-up how-to video. You are going to need a ball for today just because this is the safest way to do a kind of sit-up movement without hurting your spine or putting it under pressure. Mine is 20 centimetres diameter, I think. You can get ones that are 25. I wouldn't go much smaller because it gets so hard, okay? So just make sure you've got the right equipment and make sure you're feeling okay before you get started. The first thing we're going to think about is positioning. So come and sit on your bottoms, and we're going to use our ball to support our lower back. This is why they're so important. The ball's going to come and tuck behind your back, but so it doesn't roll away, we need to kind of squish it in underneath your tailbone so you can back into it and try and keep it still, okay? Should feel quite comfy. Legs are going to be hip width apart on the floor in front of you. Nice bent knees, about 90 degrees under the knee. And we're going to think about our pelvic tilt. So imagine that your pelvis is a bucket of water, and we're going to try and spill some water out the back. So we're almost trying to bring the spine into a C shape. Now, if you've got a fusion, that's going to look less dramatic. As you can see, my pelvic tilt is very small, but you can get a bit of movement and you're going to feel your lower abs starting to switch on, lower back or top of your pelvis kind of starting to press into the ball. That's step one. Arms are coming out in front, so we're heavier weighted in front, going to make it a bit more manageable. And keeping your pelvic tilt on, we'll just recline backwards. Now we're only coming to about 45 degrees, and you should feel your upper abdominals under your rib cage switching on. Pulling from your tips of fingers and your abdominals, we're going to come all the way up, and you have just done your first Scoli friendly sit-up. So really well done. We're thinking all the time about that pelvic tilt. That is so important, that C shape in the spine, to tuck your pelvis under and then to come back. We want to imagine we're holding a peach under the chin, so we're not looking down. Good. So we've got those two things going on with the positioning of your pelvis and your chin. Nice. So you should start to feel definitely upper abs helping to support you going back, lower abs working to keep that pelvic tilt on. If you want to make it harder, that's where we play with arm positioning. So you could bring hands across your chest. Again, pelvic tilt coming down and all the way up. Or my top level is to take tips of fingers up to your temples, so they're not holding your head, just resting there. And then pelvic tilt, come down, and all the way up. And you can rest. Well done. We only really want to do sets of about 8 to 10, and when you've done enough, just flop yourself forwards. It's going to help relax your lower back and give you a bit of a break. So I hope that's helped to just talk you through that technique. Go and enjoy your sit-ups, enjoy that little bit of ab work, and I will see you soon.